Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Today, we're talking about a Battlestar class that many presumed was a modern Battlestar design, when it now appears to be one of the oldest. We're talking about the Valkyrie-class Battlestar, mainly seen in the series' background as a strike and reconnaissance Battlestar design. The Valkyrie class was first deployed during the first Cylon War, and has lasted even longer than the famed Jupiter-class Battlestar, even though she is not as powerful. Remember to hit that subscribe button for the latest videos. While you're watching, comment down below what you would name a Valkyrie-class Battlestar if you were to command one. Let us know what you think of this ship in the comments below. The Valkyrie-class Battlestar came in at a length of 649 meters, with a width of 234 meters and a height of 69 meters. While smaller than the likes of the Jupiter-class and Mercury-class Battlestar designs, the whole layout of the Valkyrie-class remained in a similar design style. For example, it features the alligator head, then a midsection with the flight pods attached, followed by the aft section with propulsion housing, which is where the main sublight engines were located along with the FTL drive. 4 rearwards facing sublight engines are mounted in pods onto the outer hull of a Battlestar. The engine pods are strategically placed. 2 are located on the vessel's dorsal surface and the other 2 on the ventral surface. Smaller maneuvering thrusters are located throughout the ship, allowing for quick and agile movements during combat scenarios and normal ship operations. Despite being a pre-Cylon War era design, the flight pods of the Valkyrie class do not retract like those found on the Jupiter-class Battlestars. The Valkyrie also has significantly less launching capabilities than its larger counterparts in the fleet. While typical Battlestar designs had launch tubes positioned on the sides of both flight pods, the Valkyrie class opted to incorporate 6 forward-facing launch tubes, 3 for each pod, at the front of each flight pod. This design was likely due to the smaller size of a Battlestar design. For example, the flight pods are only around 33.5 meters wide at their widest point. Perhaps due to the small size of the vessel, much of the main layout is exposed or semi-exposed on the underside of the ship, with the FTL drive being most prominent. The main engines also appear to be somewhat unarmoured, highlighting the class's vulnerability. This weakness would also be taken advantage of by the Cylons during the Battle of Scorpion shipyards. This battle saw a single Cylon raider, armed with only conventional missiles, exploit the weakness and destroy a docked Valkyrie-class Battlestar. Armament-wise, as a smaller Battlestar, the ships of the Valkyrie class do not possess the heavy turrets typically seen on both the Jupiter-class and the Mercury-class. The Valkyrie design is equipped with several smaller turrets strategically placed throughout the ship. This type of turret is complemented with multiple secondary and tertiary weapons to serve as a defense mechanism against incoming ordnance. The Valkyrie class was equipped with a main armament consisting of 12 main kinetic energy weapon batteries, and a secondary armament consisting of 4 single-gun KEWs, positioned on the dorsal side of each flight pod. These weapons likely provide the flak screen to protect the landing combat air patrol fighters from enemy attack during their landing. The Valkyrie class design would also have anti-missile and anti-fighter protection in the form of 41 dual KEW series batteries. While resembling the design of the main batteries, they were smaller and strategically positioned on the vessel's hull. These batteries actually served a dual function. They would act as the standard kinetic weapons, typically found in the Jupiter class, and a platform for launching colonial ship-to-ship missiles. In a smart tactical choice, the weapons were also placed between the sublight engines. It allowed for a near 360-degree protection coverage. This arrangement ensured the Valkyrie-class Battlestar was well equipped to defend itself from potential threats, like Cylon raiders or incoming ordnance. The crew complement of a Valkyrie-class Battlestar is expected to be much smaller than that of a Jupiter-class Battlestar. While a Jupiter-class initially required 5,000 personnel, the Valkyrie would likely require a lot less than that due to its size. After the first Cylon War and the implementation of modern technology like networked computer systems, the crew size likely further decreased due to the new technology and automation. While no exact number is known, the Valkyrie class is expected to support multiple squadrons of Viper fighters and Raptor multi-purpose craft. While seen as a breakaway from the standard design, the placement of the launch tubes could enable the Valkyrie class to offer enhanced maneuverability and strategic positioning during combat operations. It is worth noting that due to the size of the flight pods and overall Valkyrie class design, the vessel lacks the capability to allow larger ships to dock inside of it. While taking part in the first Cylon War, the Valkyrie class would have had Viper Mark II and Mark III fighters in service. By the time of the fall of the 12 colonies, the Mark VII Vipers would be in service on board Valkyrie Battlestars, along with Raptors. Due to the Valkyrie class's initial introduction, we can presume its original design configuration lacked advanced computer technology. This could be compared to the Jupiter-class Battlestar. The fear was that Cylons would infiltrate the vessel via network computer systems. However, it is presumed that nearly all of the Valkyrie-class Battlestars were heavily upgraded and refit by the time of the fall of the 12 colonies. This is evident as most Valkyrie-class Battlestars fell victim to the silent infiltration of the Command Navigation Program during the fall of the colonies. This program allowed the stars to remotely shut down the Battlestars and simply destroy them, leaving them with no defences, including the fighter wings. Before the fall of the 12 colonies, the colonial fleet sought to upgrade the Valkyrie-class design. For example, they updated the class with a spoiler-light winglet hull section above the upper engine assembly. It's not entirely clear why this was added or what purpose it serves. Two of these types of Valkyrie-class Battlestars exist and were spotted docked at Scorpion Fleet yards during the fall of the 12 colonies. It's possible this was a recent addition or not a popular design, as other Valkyrie ships that were active during the fall did not feature this new hull attachment. The Valkyrie-class Battlestar design was introduced quite some time before the first Cylon War. For example, at least 2 Valkyrie-class vessels were in service to both the Caprica and Gemini navies. See our behind the scenes section for clarification on how this works within the universe of Battlestar Galactica. Regardless of the exact introduction to the colonial fleet, the Valkyrie-class would participate in the first Cylon War and prove its worth. This is made evident by the fact that the colonial fleet still produces Valkyrie-class designs by the time of the fall of the 12 colonies, which takes place around 40 years after the conclusion of the first Cylon War. With the presence of a Flight 2 variant of the Valkyrie class, which was the spoiler variant we mentioned during the technical analysis, it could be theorized that the colonial fleet was either refitting the design or building a new variation of it, further proving how practical the design was to the colonials. During peacetime, the Valkyrie class operated more as a security and patrol vessel. The class appeared to be one of the most popular designs of the colonial fleet. Across history, at least 10 unique ships of the Valkyrie-class Battlestar have been recorded. Perhaps the most well-known Valkyrie-class Battlestar was the BS-41 Valkyrie. This Battlestar was in service to the colonial fleet and is considered a relic of the Cylon War. The ship was continually upgraded and refitted to maintain its usefulness to the fleet. The Valkyrie was constructed during the Cylon War, a conflict between the newly formed United Colonies of Kobol and the sentient Cylon labor force. The Valkyrie would be thrown into service during the conflict, taking part in a battle of the Cylons over the world of Canceron. During this engagement, the ship sustained heavy damage and was assumed to have been destroyed by the Cylons. In reality, the colonial fleet used this to their advantage. The colonials began amassing a fleet of damaged ships. They were being repaired in deep space under radio silence. The plan was for these ships to lead a surprise assault on Cylon positions. It would become known as the Ghost Fleet Offensive. During this, some Valkyrie pilots were assigned to the Osiris, an Orion-class assault ship. Following the end of the first Cylon War, the Valkyrie remained in service to the colonial fleet. Many ships that served during the war fell victim to the major fleet shakeup, where vessels like the Battlestar Galactica were relegated to support roles. Around 2 years before the fall of the 12 colonies, the Valkyrie was now under the command of Commander William Adama. Under the orders of Admiral Peter Corman, she was to participate in a Black Ops mission. Becoming suspicious of a Cylon armament, the admirals of the colonial fleet were pushing President Richard Adar for a modernization of the fleet. The idea was to keep up to date with the hypothetical enemy. Per her orders from the admirals, Valkyrie jumped to the arms' line and launched a Stealth Star light reconnaissance craft. It seems the colonial stealth technology was not as advanced as they thought it would be. The craft was immediately detected by what was thought to be Cylon forces as soon as it crossed the arms' line. They attacked the Stealth Star. Commander Adama was forced to fire a missile at his own ship. He needed to prevent the Cylons from recovering proof of the colonials blatantly breaching the Simtar peace accords. Valkyrie would launch a ship-to-ship missile and destroy the Stealth Star, but the pilot managed to eject. This would be an event that would return to haunt William Adama many years later. From what was seen as a failure of the mission, Commander Adama was reassigned to command the obsolete Battlestar Galactica. He would be stationed there to oversee the aging Battlestar's final years before her decommissioning. By the fall of the 12 colonies, the Battlestar Valkyrie was under the command of a new commanding officer and was assigned to protect Caprican airspace. Regarding the fate of the Valkyrie Battlestars, the actual Battlestar Valkyrie BS-41 was destroyed over Caprica during the fall of the 12 colonies. As presumed, all Valkyrie-class Battlestars were destroyed in the fall. During the Cylon's attack, the Battlestar Yushuman was also destroyed over Caprica, along with the other Valkyrie-class Battlestars. At least 7 Valkyrie-class Battlestars were destroyed during the fall of Scorpion Fleet shipyards. Richard C. Livingston produced early concept artwork of the Valkyrie class. Take a look at the concept artwork on screen. You can see the designs of the Valkyrie grow from an initial idea sketch to what it would become. Notes on the first sketch indicate how the Mercury-class Battlestar Pegasus will be about twice the size of the Valkyrie. Already Richard had an idea of the size of the Valkyrie when concepting it. Sketch 05 shows a breakaway design. This Valkyrie almost had a giant runway down her spine. If we zoom in and enhance, you can actually see the Battlestar Galactica turrets on the hull this time. One of the other sketches produced by Richard shows a close to its finished version of the Valkyrie. Here in the top image, we can see the design take shape to how we would see it in the series of Battlestar Galactica. A special thank you to the Battlestar.wiki team for collecting this artwork in one central place. You can use the link in the video description to visit their website. After Richard Livingston had designed the Valkyrie, CGI artist and compositor Pierre Drolet would go on to build and refine the model for its eventual appearance in the reimagined series of Battlestar Galactica. The exact introduction of the Valkyrie-class Battlestar is unclear in Battlestar's lore. For example, before the online series Blood and Chrome, it was widely believed that the Valkyrie class was the newest class of Battlestar introduced to the colonial fleet. Their small size influenced the thought process behind this. It mirrors a decrease in size and number of ships by the US Navy at the end of the Cold War. Also, their advanced technology, such as battery-fired missiles, influenced this idea. However, given the Valkyrie was present in the Ghost Fleet during the first Cylon War, this would mean the class had to be introduced in the first Cylon War, making it one of the oldest designs. But it does appear to be older than the Jupiter-class Battlestar, which is what the Battlestar Galactica belongs to. The reason we say this has to do with the TV series Caprica. This series is a prequel and set within the Battlestar Galactica reimagined continuity. Keen-eyed fans spotted a Valkyrie class in a blink and you'll miss it moment in the Caprica TV series, but fans at large appear to have not noticed this. You do have to watch carefully to actually see this. In episode 18 of Caprica Season 1, you can just see what appears to be a Valkyrie-class Battlestar hovering in the skies of a planet as a transport passes by the main screen. This suggests that the Valkyrie class was active much earlier than first expected. Theoretically, the Valkyrie class was introduced between 82 and 68 years before the fall of the 12 colonies. This would make the class somewhat active 30 to 17 years before the first Cylon War and the unification of the 12 colonies. The name Valkyrie has a rather exciting meaning, especially when you compare it to the story in which we find the Battlestar Valkyrie. A Valkyrie is a minor female deity who chooses the most heroic fallen warriors to ascend to Valhalla, where they await Ragnarok. In the series of Battlestar Galactica, Valkyrie is the third instance of Norse mythology being used. The first was Ragnar's Station, which in itself is a reference to Ragnarok, aka the Twilight of the Gods. The story of Ragnarok parallels the career of William Adama. It would seem he was a one-time commander of the Valkyrie. Adama would be considered a fallen hero by the Colonial Admiralty, and then transferred to Galactica before the Cylon attack. With the fall of the colonies, he finds himself in the Battle of Ragnar Anchorage, the last battle in colonial space. Rather poetic when you put it like that. We'd like to say a big thank you to the Battlestar Galactica Fleet Commander mod team, who created a fantastic mod for the Home Mode Remastered Collection game. Go check them out via the link below. You can also vote on ModDB for Mod of the Year 2024. So, that is a complete breakdown of the Battlestar Valkyrie. What do you think of this ship? While writing your comments, did you also answer my question from the start? If you missed it, I want to know this. What would you name a Valkyrie-class Battlestar? Get commenting. If you want to continue the Battlestar Galactica adventures, click our playlist on the end of the video, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with more of our Battlestar breakdowns. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it.